Thanks for joining us today. I'm Gabe Garris, owner of Backwoods Pursuit, and today we're going to dive back into our Sitka Layering Guide review series with a look at the Sitka Traverse pant. These are Sitka's what I would consider to be their middle of the road type of a pant. They're not the lightest weight nor the heaviest weight. Kind of have some unique features that are different from each of the other pants in their lineup. So we're going to look at those and show you what is different about these and why you might pick these as some of your go-to pants. I'll put a link to these down in the description for you so you can check them out for yourself, as well as a link to our website, backwoodspursuit.com, and Facebook and Instagram there, so you can give us a follow over on those platforms. Check out our other gear reviews over on the website. Tons going on over there as well. Let's dive into this review on the Sitka Traverse pant. All right, to start, a couple of the specs on the Traverse pant. They are a 4-way stretch material. And on the interior here, they have a microgrid fleece lining, so they're not going to be quite as lightweight or as breathe quite as well as the Ascent pant or even the Apex. They are what I would consider to be basically one step above the Apex as far as warmth and durability, but not nearly as durable and warm as the Mountain pant. So they're kind of that in between. If the Apex or Ascent is not quite what you're looking for, these are a good option, but there are some very stark differences between the Traverse pant here and those. Weight-wise, these are 14.5 ounces or so, 14.7 ounces, I believe, so almost identical to the Apex pant, but the Ascent is 12 ounces, so it's a little bit lighter, a little bit of a more early season pant than these. I used these Traverse pants for a couple of years here. Everything in archery season, early season archery all the way through October, and they did well. I would say best use for these pants, though, was that September and earlier October before you need to transition over to something like the Mountain or the Timberline pant when temperatures do drop a little bit on you. Some of the unique features on these are the pockets here. You do have an angle cut here with the pocket, whereas some of the other ones, like the Timberline and the Mountain pant, both have a zippered pocket, whereas these have an open pocket, much like the Apex and the Ascent pants. They both have similar styles to this. These have a different angle cut, though, makes it a little more open on the top, and they also have a knife, a place to hang your knife here on the side, which is really nice as well to keep if you're someone that likes to do it, carry an EDC type knife, hang it on your belt or hang it in your pocket. It does a really good job of making sure you don't wear out your pocket that way. Now, as far as the cargo pockets here, you have a zippered pocket. That's different than the Apex pant that we looked at. Some people don't like the button style pants that the Apex offers, so these are a good option that way. So if you like the zippered pocket, and they are a mesh on the interior, which is nice, so you can open that up if you want to allow these to breathe more, and there's one on each side that way, so you can add to the breathability of these pants. Similarly, up here on these pockets, you do have a mesh interior, a mesh backing, but that mesh is only on the inside here, whereas the outside of the pocket here is that same material, so it adds some durability there for you as well. Also different than the Apex pant and the Ascent, you move up to these and they're just a touch heavier, but you do add a rear pocket that is zippered, which is kind of nice if you do like to carry your wallet or whatnot while you're out. You have that option there with the Traverse pant. Now, what you don't have with the Traverse pant here is the option for knee pads. So if you like knee pads or like to have that option, they don't have that cut out. So they are, because of that and because of some of the different features here, they're, I believe, if I recall correctly, they're the least expensive of these Sitka pants. So keep that in mind. They may or may not be a good fit for your style and your needs, but consider that. One other thing as far as cut on these Traverse pants, they are what I would consider to be the least tapered of the Sitka pants. So they're still a performance fit, but they fit a little more loosely, more like your favorite pair of jeans than either the Ascent or the Apex. They have more of that loose cut, and they're less tapered as you go down the leg. So, if you're not someone that likes that tapered cut, these are a great option for you, and they are super comfortable as well. They do a great job as far as being durable. Also, these are the pants I used for over a year, and they have a little bit of wear on them because I use these exclusively for a couple of seasons. So, but they held up really well for me, and they still are none worse for the wear and ready to go for some more hunting. Now, the 4-way stretch material is very quiet, so they are definitely quieter than the Ascent pant, but not quite as quiet as the Apex, but they're real close to the Apex, and they're real similar to the Mountain pant as well. as far as how quiet they are. They're really nice that way. That four-way stretch material is a very quiet material for you. Now you do have a little bit more of the material down on the legs, so you get a little bit more of that brushing sound, you know, the swoosh a little bit because of that, whereas the Apex and the Ascent are more tapered cut, so you have less of that going on. So pros and cons to that. Having the extra cut and the extra loose fit is kind of nice, but you also add that as well. Similarly, on the fit for these, I went with a 34 on these. I typically wear a 33, but I found that to be a little bit on the snug side. Over the course of a season, these did stretch just a little bit. Either that or I probably lost a little bit of weight around the waist as the season goes on, like typically happens. So it loosened up on me just a little bit and needed to move over to that belt. Again, the belt I like to use with these is that Kodiak belt from Argali. It's a fantastic belt, knife sharpener as well. Put a link to that in the description for you so you can check it out. But that's the belt I like to use if I need to use a belt. When I don't need a belt, that's nice as well. Now, another feature of the Traverse pants that you have that is nice, you've got the reinforced buckle here with the nylon webbing, keeps this from stretching too much, and then you have a two-way zipper here, which is nice. Not all the Sitka pants have that, but these ones do. A couple of the other pairs do as well. And then here on the interior, you've also got that rubberized band here to help keep your pants from falling down on you as you go throughout the day. And as the season goes along, like I mentioned, sometimes you'll lose a little bit of weight as you're hiking around, expending a lot of energy, so that's not uncommon to have your pants loosen up on you that way. They did a little bit for me. That was probably partially a little bit of stretch as I use these over the course of the year, but then also losing a little bit around the waist as well. That oftentimes happens when you're out hiking the woods for months at a time. So really like that rubberized band though really helps keep your pants up. Now the durability is pretty good on these as well. They've again lasted a full season plus, over a season of use, and I used these exclusively during that season, and they did excellent for me. Quietness, like I mentioned, is really good, and the wind, they do okay in the wind. They don't have a wind stop agent or anything like that, but they do okay in the wind. And warmth-wise, you know, out in the field, you're not going to get too cold early to mid archery season. Sitting on the ground, that sort of thing, they are good that way because they have that micro grid fleece on the interior that does retain a little bit more of your warmth than, say, the Ascent pant. So they're a great all-around pant, really, and they can be used, you know, later season with some, you know, a liner underneath or an extra, you know, a base layer or something like that, or you can use them earlier season. They'll be a little bit warm in early season and scouting, that sort of thing, but they do great then as well. They just have a little bit extra warmth. So great all-around pant from Sitka, especially if you like that more generous and traditional cut in the performance fit, because not everybody likes that tapered cut, and I can understand why, because they're a little bit more snug. So Sitka Traverse pants, great pant. Put a link to those in the description for you if you want to check them out. Again, we're going to next look at the mountain pant. That's kind of the Sitka's all-around pant, that one of their most popular. So we're going to take a look at that next. Thanks for joining us here today. We'll see you next time.